I don't think I'm gonna wear a black tux.
I think you are gonna wear a black tux.
No, I don't want to be like everyone else.
What color did you have in mind?
Maybe green.
No. Sorry. You can pick something else that you want.
Why? It's gonna be that.
Because it's not. It's not gonna be that. Collectively, we're deciding it's gonna be a black tux.
God, look at her expression when she says that. That's scary that we are deciding. You see this in so many modern relationships where there should be love, but instead there is contempt. But why? Like, where does her entitlement come from? Like, why is she so angry? It's because, like so many women, she's in debt, not financial debt, but emotional debt. And as a default, she's pissed off because she expects you, the man, to pay off that debt, and you haven't done it yet. So what is this debt that women have? Let me explain, because this is going to make everything make sense. We all know the story of the foolish man who maxes out his credit card to fund a lifestyle that he can't really afford, and eventually it all crashes when he has to pay back the loan. Now imagine how ridiculous it would be if that guy got a new girlfriend and then approached her and demanded that she pay off all of his debt. All the loans that he took out before they got together, he wants her to take on responsibility for them. It's ridiculous, right? They weren't even together. Why should she take on his debt? And yet, this is the exact same situation that so many men find themselves in with regards to her emotions. He is made responsible for choices that she made before they even knew each other. And women absolutely believe this. This is like a core conviction that she has. And the reason why she's so snippy and bitter and hostile all the time is because she's pissed off at you because you still haven't paid off that debt. So what are these emotional loans that a woman takes out in her youth? Let's travel back in time and find out.
How many guys you knocking down on spring break? Because it seems like you're just going wild.
It's going pretty crazy.
How many guys you knocked down?
Hashi. We lost count after like 12.
12 guys on spring break.
Yeah.
How many more guys you knocking down?
On a regular weekend, I'd probably say 3.
3 guys a weekend?
This is where the debt begins, where she borrows from the future to fund the now. Who cares about tomorrow? Right now, she's high on the moment, living off of validation and fantasy. In her early 20s, she used her body as collateral, indulging the easy pleasure of hookups, trading sex for a glimpse of status, because she wanted to believe the illusion that she was going to be a desirable choice for high status men. And during these hookups, for a moment, she got to feel like she was an equal to these guys, even though the reality is that they never took her seriously and never intended to commit to her. But that fantasy wasn't free, that was a loan that she took out. And now the bills are due. The excitement has faded, the attention has dried up, she's brought back to reality, and what she's left with is anger. Angry at herself, angry at the men who never stayed, and most importantly, angry at you, because now she expects you to pay off these emotional loans. But wait a moment, it's not your debt. Why should you have to pay it off? She's the one who let men use her for sex. She's the one who ignored the obvious signs that the attention and the validation was not going to last. It's her bitterness, it's her failure. If she was so worried about getting used up by men, then why didn't she get married earlier and find a commitment? Why did she spend her 20s in hookup culture? The choice was always available to her to just find a good guy and get married. But what you've got to understand about the mindset of the modern woman is that she doesn't feel any rush. It's totally acceptable to sleep around in your 20s because she's confident that that nice guy and that long-term relationship, that commitment, that's always going to be available to her. That's just an option waiting.
Do you want to date a bad boy or a nice guy?
A nice guy. I'm done. No, bring me all the nice guys. Find me, please. I'm out on bad boys. Not about that life.
Well, why'd you stop going for the bad boys now at 29?
I'm 29, babe. Like, we're done. All about the good life, the soft life. I want to live well.
She wanted the fun, the excitement, the fantasy. She wanted to believe that she was on the same level as these high status guys that she was hooking up with. But that's delusional. The only way that she got access to those guys was by leveraging her body. She had to grant these guys easy access sexually. And yes, it allowed her to live out this fantasy, but that came at a cost. Emotional heartbreak, anger, and bitterness. And maybe she could sense that this wasn't the smartest course of action, but for many modern modern women, they're like, well, I'm only going to be young once. I've got to take advantage of this opportunity. Why not take out huge loans against my future and just live the good life right now? They don't realize how inherently destructive it is. Feminism pretends that casual sex is normal for women. They just do it for pleasure. The idea that these women even want these guys to commit, that's so old-fashioned. No, she's empowered. Like, these hookups, they're for her benefit. It's total bullshit. It's propaganda. When they've studied the psychological impact on women who enter into casual sex arrangements like friends with benefits, the results are exactly what you would expect. Look here at the areas with the biggest gender discrepancies between men and women. You can see there, men want uncommitted sex and they want sexual release. But sexual release barely even factors as a reason for women. That's not why they're doing friends with benefits. Where they stand out from men is wishfulness and seeking comfort. Yeah, because they're women. This should surprise nobody. You can see in this data too that men had a very positive experience from commitment-free sex. Sign me up. Most guys would do it again. But that's not the case for women. Most of them hated it. They never want to do it again. But if that's the case, then why are these women doing it in the first place? It's like I said, because she knows that she's not the equal of the men that she's sleeping with, and the only way to gain access to them is to allow them easy access to her body. Deep down, she knows this to be true. She's aware that this is what she has to offer. This is what is keeping him interested. Now, they're not going to consciously admit that because it's too confronting. On the surface, most women are telling themselves that they're special and unique and amazing. I mean, the harsh truth is that they're not. I'm not picking on women here. Most humans are pretty dull. They're not particularly smart or creative or interesting. But if you are an average woman and there's nothing distinctive about you, nothing that would make you stand out as a particularly good life partner, mother, wife, then the way that you can stand out and appeal to those top tier guys is through sex. Now, this might be the first time as a man you've really considered how women make this trade, but trust me, every single woman feels this tension inside her instinctively. She's running calculations all of the time. How much of myself do I have to give up in order to keep maintaining access to these guys? This is the bargain that she makes. If she wants to play in the big leagues, then she needs to offer sex. That's how she moves up. But it's going to cost her. Yes, she'll get to live her fantasy for a moment, but after that illusion fades, she's going to be left angry and bitter. They used me. They never cared about me. Men are pigs. This is the emotional debt that she is left with. But she could pay it off. Let's not pretend that accountability here is impossible. She could say, you know what, this one's on me. I made some bad choices, but I take responsibility. I will grieve my emotions. I will change my values. I took out these loans. I'm responsible for them, but I will pay off this debt myself. I will be a better woman, and the next relationship I have with a man is going to be completely different. This is an approach that women could take. Or, you could just take this attitude.
I should be getting grapes fed to me. I should be getting forehead kisses when I'm busy working. I should be told to not worry about a thing.
I don't know if it's just because I'm a man, but I find this so difficult to relate to. If a woman has spent her entire dating life dismissing regular guys, the middle income dudes, because she mistakenly thought that she was worthy of that top tier of men, then you might think in her later years when reality has corrected her misconceptions, and when she's trying to convince one of these guys that she formerly ignored to marry her, to save her from childlessness and loneliness, then she might approach dating with some humility, some regret, an overall attitude of, I was so stupid to ignore men like you in the past. I appreciate that you're kind and you're solid and you treat me well. I'm embarrassed by how much debt I'm bringing to this relationship, but I promise you, I'm going to make up for lost time. My debt is not your problem to take care of. I've learned my lesson and I'm going to be such a good wife for you. But instead of that, you see this. Instead of humility, she's angry because, believe it or not, in her mind, she thinks she is the one who's settling.
Is your husband the man that you settle for, or is he the man of your dreams?
Settle.
I already know. Damn.
She doesn't begin her new relationship with gratitude or even neutrality. She's pissed off because she's got this huge emotional debt and she wants you to be the one to pay it off. You protest and you say, I wasn't the one who mistreated you. I didn't give you these trust and abandonment issues. I'm the one who committed to you, who's taking care of you. Be angry at them, not at me. That sounds reasonable to you, right? But it's falling on deaf ears because what you've got to understand about the psychology of low-quality women is that they don't have the intellectual sophistication to actually view men as individuals. They look at their partner and this is what they see. Men exist as an undifferentiated mass. Their identity is collective. So who are you? Well, you are just the latest representative of this idea in her mind of men. And because men screwed her over in the past, now you are responsible. Her debt is your debt. She took out huge loans against her purity, against her optimism and sweetness, so that she could live the fantasy that she was this highly desirable woman. But since those other guys let her down, now it is your responsibility to make her feel like that's true. It is your job to give her that feeling that she could never make permanent in her party years. But it should be obvious that when a woman comes into a relationship with that mindset, it's very quickly going to become abusive because she's going to be demanding the best treatment from you, that you make her feel like a queen. And she genuinely and righteously feels so entitled to that treatment that it completely blinds her to what your wants and needs in the relationship might be. They are just completely dismissed. You exist to pay off her emotional debt. That's your role, and there is no further thought about what you might want. But you don't have to accept that. You are not a cleanup crew for her bad decisions. Just because you are a man does not mean that your only purpose in life is to serve women. You have every right to live for your own happiness, and you should. It's way better than the alternative because I can't really think of anything that would be more humiliating to a man than working your butt off trying to please a woman to make up for the emotional debt that she racked up with other men. They got her youth, they got her optimism, they got her body, all for a very low price. And so now you make exorbitantly high payments just to try and make her happy, and she's not even grateful. She just feels like this is what she deserves, and she's pissed off you're not doing more. Because remember, in her mind, she's settling for you. She's the victim here because she was robbed of her destiny to be swept off her feet by one of the men of her past. It's not a good deal. She experienced her romantic peak 10 years ago, and that's gone. You're never going to get that version of her. And what you've got to realize is that her motivations for being with you now, it's not about love. She got together with you because she needed a man to pay off her debt. You might think that the two of you are creating a future together, but there is no future in her mind. Understand, from here on out, her life is just a reaction to events from the past. The emotions that were stimulated inside her during those years, that's the only thing that fuels her moving forward. And what's especially sad is that even if you buy into this ridiculous frame and you agree to pay off her debt, you do more and more for her, sacrificing your own needs just to try and please her, what you'll find is that she's just going to become more and more angry. Because by you doing that, you are placing her at the center of your world, and that's not masculine. Even though that is what she's asking for, that doesn't mean that she finds it attractive. No, she finds it disgusting because you just seem so pitiful in contrast to the men from her past. Everything that you try and do for her, she actually finds innately disgusting for not being the man that she feels like she deserves. Now, let me be very clear. Does this describe all women? Absolutely not. Not every woman was a party girl who slept around. And of those that did, some of them sincerely regret their choices. As they got older, their views matured and their values changed. We cannot criticize women for viewing men like this if we view women like this. Remember, whatever value system we use to judge others is the same value system that we ourselves will be judged by. So if you want to be seen as an individual, you've got to do the same for women. Exceptions exist, and I really hope that you manage to find a high quality woman so that you can exit the dating market and start a family. I create these videos to warn you about trends so that you can avoid this particular type of woman so you don't end up being this guy. But how do you know if she's going to be this kind of woman or not? That gets really messy. Do you ask her about her past? Can you be sure that you're getting the truth as you kind of navigate all of her history? She seems sad when she talks about it, but is that from guilt or a sense of victimhood? There is one clean, easy way to guarantee that you don't become this guy. Unfortunately, it is not an option available to all men. But for really smart guys, they've already figured this out. I'm going to spend the rest of the video talking about this. We're going to go into a lot more depth. So if you want to keep watching the video, then just come and sign up at my Patreon. That's where I post the full-length versions of my videos. Or you see here on YouTube, these are just the shortened, abridged versions. The full versions of my videos are available on Patreon.